And for our mindfulness meditation, let me invite you just to be still. Let your body become as still as it can comfortably be. That is good enough. And with your eyes closed and your mind awake, allow your body to breathe all by itself, from your nose and from your stomach, with your lips together, just letting your body find its own rhythm, its own depth, its own way of breathing. Your body is now already entering into relaxation breath, the breath style that the human body uses as it relaxes. You have switched this style of breath on by becoming still, closing your eyes and remaining awake. You've engaged your relaxation instinct. And as you relax, in mindful meditation, we use the mind as a tool, the thinking faculty of the mind, as a powerful tool for personal evolution, for improving our wisdom, our insights, our health, and our happiness. A conscious and deliberate directing of ourselves towards ever greater health and happiness, well-being, and enjoyment of life. So in your stillness, with your breath, eyes closed and mind awake, the intention for this meditation is to learn from our mistakes. Life, as you know, is a trial and error process. We learn by trying things out, being successful at some things, and making mistakes and being unsuccessful at others. And this is healthy, it's natural, it's right, and it's a good process. And in this meditation, we're going to honor and respect this process by going back, using our memory, to a time when we made one of those mistakes. One of those mistakes that perhaps from time to time, whenever we think about it now, we feel emotions like regret or sadness or remorse or possibly shame. This meditation holds the intention to remove all of those emotions from our body, from our spectrum of emotion, so we become free of guilt, free of shame, free of self-punishment for those things that we got wrong and made mistakes with, made the wrong decisions, said the wrong thing, did the wrong thing. Things that have maybe brought harm to ourselves or others in some way. Let us honor the trial and error, the natural human life-given system of learning wisdom, the trial and error system. So in your stillness, with your breath, with your eyes closed and your mind awake, with your emotions calm inside your heart and inside your stomach, just to the best of your ability is good enough. Let me invite you to go back in time, using your memory, just revisit, bring to mind a small event that you engaged in that didn't go too well, perhaps didn't go well at all. One of those events that you sometimes look back on and feel unhappy in some way, maybe guilty, maybe full of shame, maybe regretful. And as you remember back to the details of this specific event, see it with your mind's eye, hear it with your mind's ear, what people were saying, the events that took place. But stay with the emotion of calm in your heart and in your stomach area, inside your body, in your core. Take your time and allow the memory to come back slowly and gently. As you see the images with your mind's eye, as you remember what went on, what was said, who did what you had done or said, the mistake that you made, jump back into your heart with your awareness, drop back into your core, and remind yourself of the calm emotion that sits within you because you are sitting still, because you are in meditation, because your eyes are closed and your mind's awake. Your relaxation instinct is fully switched on, so you are calm. You are at peace. And as you practice, remembering back to that time of learning, you are remembering back while feeling calm. You are attaching the emotion of calm to the memory, replacing the old emotions of sadness and regret, remorse and shame perhaps, replacing those emotions with the emotions of calm, peaceful serenity. Just to the best of your ability is good enough. Now, let's extract the learning from the experience. Let's extract and explore the understanding that experience afforded us. But let's first remember that life is, by its very nature, a trial and error learning process. And it would always be that way as far as we can tell. And it will probably be that way for the rest of our lives. So let me invite you to make peace and just to simply accept that that is the case, that it's perfectly okay. With that accepted and acknowledged, remember back now to the time that you have chosen, the event that you have chosen where you made a mistake. Feel the peace of your heart in your body right now, at the same time as remembering the memory. Feel the peace in your stomach, your core, your center, behind your navel, at the same time as recalling the memory. See the pictures, hear the sounds. Revisit the event itself. If there were fragrances and tastes and textures, then re-experience those as well. For example, if it was at a meal time, or if it was a particularly warm or cold day, you could remember the temperature. You could remember the flavors of the food, perhaps, the fragrances as well. So as you allow this memory, this what used to be a painful memory, to come back into your mind, you are now adding to it, you are now connecting with this memory the emotions of calm, peace, and serenity that you now have in real time, here and now, in your body, in your heart, at your core, deep inside yourself. And the wise voice inside you knows that you can allow this beautiful feeling of calmness to always be linked to this memory. Because life is a trial and error learning process, and you acknowledge that. You understand that. So now let's extract the wisdom, the insight, and the learning from that event, whatever it was. There will probably be several points, several pieces of learning, several insights, several pieces of wisdom that you can gain. My invitation in this meditation is just to identify one. You can identify as many as you wish. But let me just invite you now to think back to that time, peace in your heart, calm at your center. What does your intelligent mind tell you that you can take as a learning, as an understanding, as a piece of wisdom from that experience? Okay. Let me offer you a question. If you were to find yourself in the same circumstances again, some point in the future, what would you do differently now that you have this piece of understanding, this single piece of understanding? You have just engaged in a very conscious and deliberate process of learning from trial and error. The error was made in the past, and now in the present, you have used your mind to clarify and understand a single piece of learning, maybe more than one, that you have now drawn from that experience. Now that you have done this, now that you have a more solid and clear understanding of the learning that's taken place, the emotions of regret, sadness, shame, and guilt, and all those type of emotion have now diluted inside you, possibly disappeared completely. All you've done is established a nice calm emotional state within yourself. Taken a few minutes just to close your eyes, remain awake, let your body establish relaxation breath, drop into a state of healing rest, emotional peace, and you've used your mind, your memory, to remember back and to almost re-experience the error that took place. With your awareness and your intelligence, you have drawn insight, knowledge, and understanding. And that knowledge, the insight, and the understanding is now consciously held in your mind. You are now able to feel at peace in the light of your new understanding, because you've engaged fully, with full acceptance, in the process of trial and error learning, which is the process of learning that every human being on the planet has to engage in, has to work with. It's natural, healthy, and the way that it is. So as we arrive very gently at the end of our mindfulness meditation together, let me invite you to notice the light coming in through your eyelids, the feeling of your body weight resting, the solid ground underneath your feet. And as you open your eyes, notice how good you feel.